Have you ever had that feeling? You know, the one where you feel like you have all this strength, all this potential, but for some reason you're just stuck. It's so frustrating, right? Knowing you're capable of so much more, but it feels like something invisible is holding you in place. Well, what if I told you that something might just be an old story you're telling yourself? Let's get into it.
Just think about that for a second. We tend to imagine our obstacles as these huge, massive walls or heavy chains. But what if it's not like that at all? What if the thing that's really keeping you from moving forward is something way more subtle? Something as simple and as fragile as a tiny little rope.
And this right here is the paradox so many of us live with every day. On one hand, you know you're powerful, you're capable, you're full of big dreams. But on the other hand, you feel stuck, you're filled with doubt, and it feels like you're just being held by a thread. How can both of these things be true at the same time? Well, a really simple story about an elephant has the answer.
To really get this, we're going to dive into a story that I think perfectly explains this internal tug-of-war. It's called the elephant rope paradox.
Okay, so picture this. A traveler is walking along and sees a group of these absolutely magnificent, huge elephants. I mean, these are animals that could literally uproot a tree without breaking a sweat. But they're not in cages, they're not held by heavy iron chains. The only thing keeping them put is a small, flimsy piece of rope tied to one leg, and that rope is just attached to a little wooden stake pushed into the ground.
The traveler was, completely blown away. It was so obvious that with just one good tug, these powerful creatures could snap that rope and just walk away, totally free. But they didn't. They didn't even try. They just stood there, accepting it. It just didn't make any sense. Why?
So, confused, the traveler goes up to a nearby trainer and asks what's going on. And the answer the trainer gives, well, it's the key to understanding our own self-imposed limits.
The trainer just kind of smiled and explained that the secret has nothing to do with the elephant's strength now. It's all about its past. He says, you see, when they are just babies and they're much, much smaller, we use this exact same rope to tie them up.
So here's what's actually happening. It's a conditioning process, and it works in 3 simple steps. First, the attempt. As a baby elephant, it pulls and pulls, but that rope is genuinely too strong for it. It can't break free. Second, the belief. After trying and failing enough times, the elephant learns a powerful lesson, a belief. I am not strong enough. And third, the acceptance. That belief gets so deeply ingrained that when the elephant grows into a massive, powerful adult, it never questions it. It never even thinks to try again.
And yeah, there's a word for this: conditioning. It's basically the process of being trained to accept that certain limits are absolute truths, whether they're actually still real or not.
Okay, so this is the moment where the story stops being about elephants and starts being about us. Because, let's be honest, we all have our own invisible ropes tied to our pasts.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? The physical rope was basically meaningless. The real prison, the strong one, was the memory of a past failure. It was a belief that was formed a long, long time ago and was just never challenged again.
I mean, really think about it for a second. How many times have you told yourself, oh, I can't do that? Not because you've actually tried it recently, but because you're just remembering a time maybe years ago when you tried and it didn't work out.
So let me ask you directly, what are your ropes? What are those old, outdated beliefs about what you can and can't do that you've just accepted as fact without ever stopping to ask, hey, wait a minute, is that still true today?
And, these ropes can be literally anything. Maybe it's the memory of a business idea that flopped, or a cutting comment a teacher made to you when you were a kid. It could be an old fear of rejection that stops you from putting yourself out there. Or maybe it's that classic one, that little voice that says, I just can't do math, all because you failed a test back in high school. But here's the good news. This is the really good news. Just because we've been conditioned doesn't mean we are trapped forever. We can absolutely break free.
This is the most important thing to get. That old failure, that old belief you've been carrying around, it has absolutely nothing to do with who you are today and what you're capable of now. That past failure does not get to define your future potential. And if you need proof, just look at this. The person who formed that belief back then was in every way smaller. You were less experienced. You were genuinely limited by that rope at the time. But the person you are today, you are so much stronger. You're wiser. You've grown in 1,000 different ways. You are infinitely more powerful than that old, frayed memory of a rope.
So you have to realize the rope isn't even real anymore. It's just a ghost. It's a memory. The only thing giving it any power over you is your belief in it. You have grown so far beyond it. And honestly, all it takes is one single tug of faith in yourself, in the person you are right now, to realize it has no hold on you.
So I'm going to leave you with this question. Please don't spend another day tied to a little wooden stake you could have walked away from years ago. Think about it. What is the one old belief you've been holding on to? What is the one rope that you are finally going to test today?